Coming up on Good Morning Longhorns, votes are counted and results are in. The outcome of last week's campus-wide elections.
And South by Southwest is in full swing. We spent the weekend covering everything from political heavyweights and movie stars to all things UT.
In sports, both of our basketball teams are still in it to win it, how the March Madness bracket could shape up.
And later, a new establishment is officially gearing up to open right off of campus when you can head inside.
And finally, spring break is almost upon us. This year's popular destinations and an old-fashioned game of Would You Rather Spring Break Edition. All this and more coming up right here, right now on Good Morning Longhorns. Good morning, Longhorns, for this Wednesday, March 12th. I'm Logan Dubel.
And I'm Gracie Kirschner. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Thank God we're in here. I mean, the lights are on, everything's working,
the power's on, we're almost to spring break.
I don't know if y'all heard, the power at Moody went out for a few hours yesterday, so we're very lucky to be able to be back in here early this morning.
Yes, and we're almost to spring break. We're almost there, so
yes.
Let's get to it. Up first this morning, the Austin Police Department is investigating a homicide that happened near campus on Saturday. The incident occurred at the intersection of the southbound I-35 Service Road and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, where APD reported receiving multiple 911 calls about a person being shot just after 4 p.m.
Despite efforts from first responders, the victim was pronounced dead at the scene. A person of interest has been taken into custody by police, though the relation to the victim is still unknown.
Back here on campus, the UT Election Supervisory Board has announced the results for the campus-wide election, which took place earlier this month.
While the results are out, there's still a lot more going on with the race for the presidency. For more, we are joined in studio this morning by our Anish Tiwari. Good morning, Anish.
Good morning, guys. Hudson Thomas and Thierry Chu will serve as the next student body president and vice president after receiving the necessary amount of votes to win. Hudson and Chu ran a campaign focused on 3 platforms: Elevate Campus Community, Tradition of Community, and Impact Beyond Ourselves. Proposed policies include a mental health week, digitized student IDs, allowing students to take home leftover catering food, and offering university credit for volunteer work. TSTV News spoke with the winning executive alliance after the results were announced on Monday. Take a look.
Again, I just want to reiterate, I really want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing us to have this opportunity. That was really my first reaction, was just gratitude and immense thankfulness that the Lord provided us with this opportunity, and our team, because our team was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, to reiterate what Hudson said, I started crying. I think just so much praise for the journey and how we even got here.
The election has been met with appeals from another candidate, and the Student Government Court ruled to disqualify the winning alliance. However, the Office of the Dean of Students overturned that decision. We should note that TSTV Associate News Director Justin Dowd served on the court, but resigned effective yesterday. Due to his involvement, we will not be diving fully into the details regarding the election aftermath. For more information on our coverage of the election, check out the letter from the directors online at tstvnews.com. Logan.
All right, thank you very much, Anish. Now to off-campus politics. Current Texas Comptroller Glenn Hager was selected last Friday to be the next Chancellor of Texas A&M once the current Chancellor, John Sharp, retires in June. This opens the position for a new Texas Comptroller as candidates Christy Craddock, former Texas Railroad Commission Chair, and State Senator Don Huffines announced their bids for the position, which is up for re-election in 2026. Governor Abbott will appoint a replacement who will serve out the remainder of the term, but he has not yet named his pick.
And more at the Texas Capitol, thousands gathered on International Women's Day. Taking a stand against the Trump administration, Austinites rallied against the firing of federal workers and what they call the infringement of their constitutional rights.
Everything, I feel like, is being taken away from us. Social security, women's rights, education, deportation of illegal immigrants. All of these issues are compounding together and making it worse for Americans across the United States.
To hear more on Texas politics, from TSTV News interview with Congressman Greg Casar, Senator Warren's presence at the protest, and the student response to the Trump administration's policies, read more on the story at tstvnews.com.
And speaking of Senator Warren of Massachusetts, he was not stopping in Austin at the protest. Later that day, she sat down to record an episode of the On with Kara Swisher podcast in front of a live audience.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Vice President Kamala Harris' running mate from last year, also popped in for a live recording of the Today Explained podcast.
And UT brought the Longhorn spirit with its Hook'em House exhibition during the first 2 days of South by Southwest. The Texas Longhorn Band, Pom Squad cheerleaders, and the Texas Cowboys paraded from the Austin Convention Center up to Antone's Friday morning to kick things off for the festival. Upon arrival at Antone's, the band played The Eyes of Texas and celebrated the start of a fun-filled weekend.
Being in Texas Cowboys and being invited out here to South by Southwest is such an honor and privilege. We see just the scale of this alone is insane, and how many people are flying in. I met a guy from the United Kingdom, other people from Europe, from Mexico. I mean, it speaks volumes to the impact and what we've got going on here, so it's really a privilege to be out here.
Hook'em House lasted 2 days, combining panels from athletes and influencers while serving up live performances from young UT artists. We'll talk about our highlights with the rest of the team in just about 15 minutes. South by Southwest also brought out the stars to the Austin red carpets Friday and Saturday. Take a look here. TSTV News saw Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, Pedro Pascal, and more as we covered the festival and the conference's various premieres and panels.
And there is still much more to come with the conference continuing all week. Michelle Obama is set to attend Thursday, and more premieres and events mean Austin will continue to play host to Hollywood's biggest stars.
And with celebrities and startups being top of mind right now when thinking about South by, unique pop-ups like the Whataburger Museum of Art are definitely worth checking out. In honor of the franchise's 75th anniversary, the fast food chain set up a showcase of fan-related art and transformed Wanderlust Wine Company. With curations ranging from French fry containers to a custom Whataburger motorcycle, the place was jam-packed.
So it's a Texas brand, so that it's present in such a big event, South by Southwest. So it's cool to see a Texas represented brand.
Yeah, and I wanted to come because it's the 75th anniversary.
The event was open to all badge holders and wrapped up on Saturday.
And the South by Southwest madness continues until Saturday, and some events are close to campus. Today at 5, Victory Lap will host an event sponsored by JBL. There you'll hear performances from UT's very own West 22nd and DJ Zandra. And there are still some events that are accessible without needing an official South by Southwest badge.
On Friday and Saturday, Fiji Airways is hosting Fiji House, an immersive experience with artists like Ali and AJ, themed drinks, and a chance to win a trip to the island. I want that. There are also still tickets available for DJ John Summit on Saturday. That's at 7 at the Moody Amphitheater. And of course, with South by causing traffic delays and a lack of parking all across the city, what better time than now to try out an autonomous rideshare service? Uber and Waymo have partnered to offer Austin customers rides in self-driving cars starting this month. Waymo is an autonomous ride-hailing company that already operates in LA, San Francisco, and Phoenix. UT's campus is included in the 37-mile Austin launch, and while there's no guarantee of getting to take a Waymo, users can toggle a preference setting in the Uber app to boost their chances. We'll see if I'm into that. Not necessarily sure I'm ready to get in a Waymo. Those new ways to get around Austin will be helpful for the record number of passengers who are rolling into the city. Nearly 22 million passengers flew out of Austin-Bergstrom last year. That's just below record levels set in 2023.
Trends from last year found that Southwest is the most popular airline and that the airport's busiest month was in May. 2025 is set to be another busy year with new routes to Milwaukee, Reno, Jacksonville, and Memphis. And in other news, Andy Burnham, mayor of Greater Manchester, England, announced a new partnership between the University of Manchester and UT at Austin City Hall on Friday. The announcement came amidst the signing of a friendship agreement between Austin and Manchester, a step on the road to Manchester's declaration as a sister city of Austin, and intends to establish expanded opportunities for research and collaboration between the two institutions and their students, including hopes for student exchanges in the future. You can read all about the new partnership between the universities and the cities at tstvnews.com.
Campus Events and Entertainment's Texas Traditions Committee hosted their annual Texas Review Talent Show last Friday, where 13 performers competed for campus recognition and cash prizes. First place took home the grand prize of $1,500, performing an original song with the Indian classical dance team. Second place landed the runner-up prize of $750 with a performance based on Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Take a look.
Bharatanatyam isn't a widely recognized dance, I think, so doing it and putting in the time that we do into our form and then showing it here was something that was very special to us, especially getting to present to the UT community, because we've been competing and performing at different areas, so we haven't really performed at UT fully yet, so it was fun to be here and be able to compete and share the art form.
To hear more from the interviews, a UT musician, and the pick for crowd favorite, you can check out the full story on our website, tstvnews.com.
And speaking of more talent, yesterday the Campus E&E Committee headlines hosted Battle of the Bands, an annual contest where student bands compete to earn a performance spot at the 40 Acres Fest. The lineup included Brooke Michelle, who we just had on the show, Camille Stites, Martin Leon, and the band Barefoot Preachers. The student audience voted Camille Stites as the winner, which means she will perform at the 40 Acres Fest on March 29th. A free event for UT students featuring food and carnival activities, as well as UT talent.
And we'll look forward to that after spring break. Well, also this weekend, the popular No Bad Vibes Run Club came to Austin this Saturday. 1,000 people went to the event, and many students were in attendance. Renee No started this group and leads runs in different cities nationwide.
And this weekend, she made her run club the audience for her gender reveal. Runners wore blue or pink, and upon reveal, the baby is a girl.
All right, and when we come back, the time change added an hour to our clocks. But what if daylight savings in Texas could come to an end? Plus, your local forecast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. You may have noticed the sun has started to set a little bit later since Sunday. No complaints there, signaling the start of daylight savings time. But due to a recent Senate proposal, Texans might not need to change their clocks anymore starting next year.
The proposed bill would give voters the chance to decide whether to observe daylight savings time or standard time year-round. If passed, the bill would appear on the Texas general election ballot this November.
And it seems like we've all felt the four seasons in Austin this week, from the wind we started with and the chilly air. Now we're up to high temperatures and humidity.
For your full local forecast, joining us on set is our Abby Sands. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning. Thank you, Gracie. And good morning, everyone. The weather is looking quite beautiful with sunny skies this week, just in time for spring break being around the corner. Today, the high will be 91 degrees with a low of 58 degrees. Tomorrow and Friday look just as similar, as the high will be 91 degrees, with Thursday having a low of 55 degrees and Friday having a low of 63 degrees. The weekend is looking just as beautiful, with highs in the 80s and 70s and lows in the 40s and 50s, providing the perfect weather when walking to classes. Expect more bright and sunny skies next week during your time off. If you are traveling or staying in Austin for the break, make sure to go outside and enjoy the sunshine. Pack some sunscreen with you and stay safe. Reporting from the Weather Center, I'm Abby Signs. Back to you.
Thank you, Abby. In sports, Texas lost to South Carolina 64-45 in the women's SEC tournament. This loss hurt the Longhorns' chances of getting a #1 seed in March Madness. Their ranking in the AP poll slipped to #5.
We learned that this game was the most watched women's basketball regular season matchup on ESPN's platforms in 16 years. The next two top games were other UT women's contests this year. The women's basketball tournament selection is set for Sunday, March 16th at 7 p.m.
And following that tough loss to South Carolina in the SEC championship, head coach Vic Schaefer shouted out student journalists. He took time to show appreciation to 3 UT students in the Daily Texan who drove over, get this, 16 hours from Austin and Greenville to cover the game. Schaefer noted that the whole media room should acknowledge their effort.
So if I'm not mistaken, are y'all my 3 that drove 16 hours? Yes, sir. No. You 2, and who's the third one? Charlie. I want y'all to know, when it comes time to get a job, you put me on your resume.
With home advantage for March Madness, hopefully getting to the game to report will be a little bit easier next time. And in men's basketball, Texas is the 13th seed in the SEC tournament, kicking it off today. They play #12 Vanderbilt at 2:30 this afternoon. The Longhorns need some wins in this tournament to dance in March Madness. ESPN's bracketology predicts Texas as one of the first 4 out of the tournament.
But on a higher note, Trey Johnson was named SEC Freshman of the Year. The guard averages 20.2 points per game. Johnson was also named the SEC All-Freshman Team and All-SEC Second Team. And with March Madness just around the corner, a new sports bar is opening on the drag just in time for the big dance. 1972 Women's Sports Pub, which will replace the now-closed Moody Kitchen and Bar, will exclusively show women's sports. 1972 held a launch event this past Saturday to celebrate International Women's Day and show Texas semifinal win against LSU. Co-founders Deborah Hallam and Marlene Duplessis say it was a success.
I mean, you never know how something is going to turn out, and we've tried to grow our followers and let people know we're coming, and tonight was just, you know, an affirmation for us that what we thought is true. There are fans here in the city, and they're ready for it.
1972 is set to officially open on March 19th, and I can't wait to check it out.
We'll have to go check it out. Speaking of new beginnings, Texas baseball is on a 14-game winning streak under the new direction of head coach Jim Schlossnagle. Starting off their year in the SEC strong, the Longhorns are bringing their wins from Vegas to Austin.
Ranked number 12, the Horns hosted UT Arlington yesterday, beating the Mavericks with a score of 7-4. With the next 3 games on the road, the Longhorns will face their first SEC series against Mississippi State in Starkville this weekend.
Former Longhorn and NFL star Xavier Worthy was making some not-so-great headlines when he was arrested on Friday.
He was arrested and charged with felony domestic violence on Friday. The following day, charges were dropped, and it was revealed that he will not be prosecuted at all. Our Hallie Diamond joins us live in the studio with more.
Hi guys. So the assault was allegedly against a family or a household member, according to the Associated Press. Now this member was a female living in his residence, according to Worthy's attorneys. They stated that Worthy discovered the complainant's infidelity, leading to him asking her to vacate his residence. Some online have rallied around Worthy, offering defense. The attorney declined to press charges, ultimately leading to his release just a day after his arrest. Worthy broke his silence, posting a selfie to his story and writing, quote, "New beginnings." Worthy will not press charges against the complainant. This story is still developing, so we will let you know if more information comes out. That's all for now. Back to you.
Thanks for keeping us updated, Hallie. It was a weekend of all positives, though, for other former Longhorns, including quarterback Colt McCoy. Number 12 was at Hookham House for a taping of the third Longhorn podcast. He, of course, played for Texas from 2006 to 2009 before going on to play 13 seasons in the NFL. He talked about his favorite memories at DKR, joked about what having an NIL deal would look like for him today, and shouted out current coach Steve Sarkisian. He also praised UT's go-getter attitude, saying nothing is given here at UT, and you've got to earn it.
And after the break, we are breaking down our time at Southwest. Our Ella Danina and Paulina Pearson will be joining us. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back. We're joined in the studio right now by our very own Ella Danita and our Paulina Pearson to talk all things South by Southwest.
Yeah, so over the weekend, South by Southwest began with a parade put on by UT. The Texas Band, Pom Squad, cheerleaders, and cowboys paraded from the Austin Convention Center to Antone's, where the Hook'em House exhibit took place. Logan and I spent time there on both days that it was open, enjoying all of the Texas spirit. But before we move on to Saturday's event, let's talk about all the free stuff that Hook'em House was giving out. Paulina, I know you took advantage of some of that.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of UT swag. There was free canes. They also had
Canes
these
was good.
free, they had these free
Much needed.
baseball hats. They had a bunch of free merch, so definitely took advantage of that.
Yeah, so moving on to Saturday, we sat in on a panel that coincided with International Women's Day. 3 female entrepreneurs from UT spoke about their businesses and lives as influencers, from a massive slime business to a podcast. Logan, what did you think of this?
It was really cool to see, especially too because they had one student, I think it was a junior, one who was a sophomore, but then another person who graduated from UT and is 26 now. It was funny, she was joking about the kind of influencer she's become, and she was like, I never thought I would become sort of a person with sort of grandma kind of things trending at age 26, but it was really cool just to be able to see all UT people up there and talking about obviously a very growing space with content creation.
Yeah, for sure. And one of my favorite places that I went to was just yesterday with Itza, and it was the Dubai Museum of the Future. It was so cool. It was like an immersive art experience. There were panels, and Itza and I tried the original Dubai chocolate. It was literally the best thing I've ever tried. So go check out our reel on Instagram for just more visuals and a little highlight of our experience. And the museum was open from March 7th through yesterday, so unfortunately it's not open now, but it was so much fun.
How was that chocolate? I've been dying to try it.
Okay, I've seen people describe it as like a Kit Kat, and that's kind of like the experience of it, but the taste is so much better. And yeah, I mean, as well as the Hook'em House, I've also been to so many panels. Yesterday, I went to one with literally Kesha. It was so cool. She was talking about just the power of loneliness, and no, so random, but so good. It was amazing.
All right, well, coming up, spring break, thank goodness, is right around the corner. Arlia Wong joins us in studio to talk about some fun activities you can do during this time off. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. I'm joining our anchors to talk all things spring break. There are lots of exciting destinations to hit up over spring break for all kinds of college students. If you're looking for a warm beach trip, you'll probably head to Florida, Mexico, or even the Bahamas. If you're looking for a party on every block, a good stop may be New Orleans or Vegas. If you want a break from the Texas heat, head up to the mountains in Colorado or New Mexico. How you spend your spring break is completely up to you. But I'm going to ask our anchors questions about how they would spend their spring break in a game of Would You Rather. So, would you rather go on a beach vacation or a snowy mountain getaway?
Beach vacation by a landslide. If I'm not tan, I'm not happy, so.
Yeah, Gracie's covered it.
You don't tan, though. There's no way.
She's always coming for me.
You're in the sun, but you may not get some color?
Right, exactly.
Well, since you both said that you're going to the beach, what would you rather do on the beach? Would you rather swim in the ocean or lay out and tan?
I'm the type of person that likes to take a dip in the ocean and lay out and tan for the rest of the day, because I've read that it makes your tan deeper and darker. So they just I'll just go and I'll splash around for 5 minutes and then I'll be done and I'll tan for the rest of the day. Maybe with a book. Maybe I'll read 10 pages, not a lot.
I feel that. I like to take a nap.
Oh, I love a beach nap.
Probably not the safest. Put a timer on. But, Logan, what would you rather do?
There is no splashing around happening for me. We're hiding under the umbrella, magazine in hand, that's it.
Yes, I mean, I have to be careful of getting in the ocean because I'm short. I can't go that far. So I have to stay near the shore. But would you rather visit a place you've never been or return to your favorite spot?
I think visit a place I've never been, even though I am returning to Cabo this year, so I can't really talk.
Wild
but
choice.
I can't blame you though. Cabo
it's a very fun time. I'm very excited. I'm going with my best friends. But if I could, I would go to Punta Cana. Actually, maybe not right now, but I would go to something like that. Bahamas. I want the really clear blue waters.
Yes,
but
I agree. What about you?
All I have to say is Cabo was so fun, I don't need to return. One and done. I'll be happily away at sea.
So you want to try something new?
Try something new. Going on a cruise for the first time. Never been on a cruise. So we'll see how that goes. I also signed up to go snorkeling and be on an ATV excursion.
I thought you said there was no splashing
We'll see how that goes.
That sounds really exciting. Well, speaking of exciting, would you rather spend your vacation being adventurous or relaxing and resting from the semester?
I want to say relaxing, but I feel like I probably will be being adventurous. But I would rather just rot and relax.
Yes. A little R&R doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll relax when we can, but also you gotta have fun. You only live once. And our last college spring break, Gracie, so we gotta take it all in.
Y'all will be seeing the post on my private story, trust.
Well, no matter how you are utilizing your week off, have fun and stay safe.
And we will see you back here in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we have for this Wednesday. I'm Logan Dubel.
And I'm Gracie Kirschner from our Good Morning Longhorns team. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. For Campus First News, you can follow us on Instagram at Good Morning Longhorns and check out our website at tstvnews.com. Bye, y'all. Have a good spring break.